Sunday. It is January 16th and it is 1:44 p.m. And today I wanted to talk about a few different things. First, I wanted to kind of apologize because I have had a few experiences in the past week or two, and I just haven't had the opportunity to share them with the community. A part of that is I've just been simply very, very tired. The podcast project that I have taken on has taken up a lot of my time, especially in the middle of the night, trying to complete things. And I've found myself being really, really tired. So I'm going to really work on getting better at that, because for me, one of the reasons that I established this channel, other than to help those that are out there to, perhaps achieve astral projection, or, help them along in their journey. The other part to this was sharing the experiences that I was having, especially the beyond body experiences, because these were things that I'd never experienced before, and I knew that I needed to share these experiences with others. So it was important to me, and it was also very important to me to share them in the moment, right after I had them. There's a certain energy to that for me, getting up at 2, maybe 3 o'clock in the morning after I've had an experience and talking about it immediately. So I'm going to work on getting better at that. So today I'd like to talk about reaching that place that I call the sweet spot, the middle space between being asleep and awake. What I've discovered over time is that many people, one of the first things I usually see on the subreddit is people kind of discard it in a way, I guess. They say, well, I can reach that place, but how can I astral project from there? And one of the things that I advise those people when I see that is, look, if you really reach that place, you should be able to leave effortlessly from that place. So in other words, it should be natural. Once you get to the place in between, you'll know it. It's a different kind of feeling. I've experienced it many, 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 many times over the years, and I understand that it's this place that for me is almost unexplainable. You are conscious, you are aware, but it is a different way of being conscious and aware. I think maybe that's the only way to kind of put it. You understand on some deeper level that you are in another place, though it's difficult, again, for me to put into words other than to say that you know that you are someplace in the middle. If one wants to astral project, this is a very important space to reach. But I would say that if you only view it that way, that this place that you're able to reach is, in order for you to astral project, you're limiting yourself. And this is the message that I have been working so hard to get out there to folks, and one of the reasons why I think I've been guided to do this is to let you know not to limit yourselves. An example I like to give is when I first began the Beyond Body. It was like I would shut my eyes when I was tired in the morning, and it would be like looking through a window. I would see things like, I remember one of the first things I saw was a busy street or a sidewalk, and I just saw legs, and I saw high heels and nice shoes and stockings, and it seemed like this was sort of a downtown area, and I think I was about the size of a toddler because of my point of view. I was only able really to see the legs of people. I really wasn't able to see their upper bodies. And I remember I told my mom about this, and I thought, well, maybe I'm just seeing like past life stuff. And I remember my mom stopped me immediately and said, when you make statements like that, you're limiting yourself. You really don't know exactly what you're seeing. That's number one. And the other thing is that once you say that this is what this is, then you've just taken out all the other possibilities of what it may be. So instead of saying that this is what it is that I was experiencing, because I experienced some other things too, like being in the back of a station wagon, I remember, and seeing a motel and being with family. I didn't know them, or at least the part of me that lives here in the 3D world didn't know them. But I remember I was sitting in the back of the station wagon and looking out, and felt like it was more like the 1960s or something like that. But again, I could have taken that as, oh, these are just past lives that I'm experiencing or seeing. Instead, I kept my mind open, and I just said, I don't know what it is that I'm seeing, but I'm open to exploring more. And as a result, the beyond body just kept evolving, I guess. And I began seeing things that were far beyond what I would think were past lives, visiting different realities, parallel universes, things like that, things that I could never have imagined even at that moment when it first began, that I could have experienced. So I'm passing this on to you for those of you who are just really getting started with astral projection. This is so important. Keep your minds open. And when you lie down in that moment and you are, maybe making an attempt, the other thing about this, and I have emphasized this kind of over and over again, but I think this is very important. It's very important to keep things light and relaxed, not to be so focused and not to be so determined to, have an experience, but just to chill. I'll give you an example of something that happened to me the other night. Now, it was such a short experience that I didn't feel that it was long enough to put into its own independent sort of episode. And it was a very brief experience, but it was a pretty intense experience. So I'm going to put it here as an example of what can be accomplished if you're not so focused on having something happen. Now, last night and probably the day before that, the days were kind of difficult for me. I was having kind of a difficult time. And when I laid down, again, I want to really emphasize this part. When I laid down, I was just like, I just want to lie down and relax. I was not in my mind thinking, I'm going to go somewhere, I'm going to experience something. That was not on my mind. I turned my iPad on low, and there was kind of talking going on in the background. And I just wanted to lie down, shut my eyes, and relax. That's it. There weren't any other expectations. So I was just lying there. And eventually, I was transported to this place, and I was walking, I think down a hall or something like that, and I saw a man that was very disfigured. He seemed burned. His face was burned and disfigured. It looked really bad. And I remember saying to myself or thinking to myself, I really want to heal this man during the experience. That's what I thought. Now, the second I said I wanted to heal this man, I was again transported just instantly. And I was in darkness, but I heard this sound like a bell, like if someone were to strike a bell with something, like a mallet. And it was this tone, but the tone was amazing. And I so interesting. I was explaining this to my mom. I went inside of the sound. Okay, guys, I went inside of the sound, and the sound was inside me. And after experiencing this for a few moments, I opened my eyes and I felt a lot better. Now, my mom was telling me that there's a lot of healing that goes on with sound. These things this is something that I'm not all that aware of. The only thing I can tell you is that what I felt when I was within that sound was just so amazing to me, so astonishing to me. It was, wow. Anyway, this happened, and again, I had zero expectations of something happening when it did happen. So, important, lie down, relax, keep your mind aware, but you're relaxing as you're lying there. And another piece of advice that I've given before is allow it to come to you. You're not chasing this. This thing that you are looking for has always been inside of you. From the very beginning, it's there. You don't have to pursue it. Allow it to reveal itself. Very, very important. Anyway, thank you so much for coming on this journey with me. And until next time, take care.